My teacher announced, "If you're even a minute late, don't bother coming at all." But those words led to a rebellion no one saw coming. I'm a junior in high school. My history teacher, Mr. Garcia, has always been strict, but this year he completely lost it. First day of class, he stands at the front of the room and makes this big announcement. He goes, "I'm implementing a new attendance policy. If you're even 1 minute late to my class, the door will be locked. Don't bother knocking. You'll get marked absent for the day." Everyone kind of laughed nervously. We thought he was joking. He wasn't. The next week, my friend Jake got stuck at his locker when the lock jammed. He showed up to class maybe 30 seconds after the bell rang. Mr. Garcia had already locked the door. Jake knocked and we could all hear it, but Mr. Garcia just kept teaching like nothing was happening. Jake had to go to the office and get marked absent. His parents got called. The thing is, our school is huge and classes are on opposite ends of the building. You have exactly 4 minutes to get from one class to another. If you stop at your locker or use the bathroom, you're cutting it close. The following week, 3 kids got locked out, then 5 kids. Then it became like 8 kids every single day getting marked absent from his class. Parents started complaining, but Mr. Garcia told the principal that he had the right to set classroom expectations. The principal backed him up. That's when things got interesting. My friend Lisa had an idea during lunch one day. She said, "What if we all just didn't show up? He can't lock out the entire class." At first, people thought she was crazy, but then more kids started agreeing. We made a plan. The next Tuesday, all 28 students in our 4th period history class stayed in the cafeteria when the bell rang. We just sat there. Mr. Garcia was apparently standing in his empty classroom looking confused. After about 5 minutes, the principal came down to the cafeteria demanding to know what was going on. Lisa stood up and explained that if 1 minute late means we can't come to class at all, then we decided not to come at all. The principal tried to threaten us with detention, but there were too many of us. He couldn't give detention to the entire class. Word spread fast. By the end of the day, kids from other grades were talking about it. The next day, we did it again. Empty classroom, all of us in the cafeteria. Mr. Garcia came down himself this time, yelling about how we were all going to fail. I stood up and said, "You told us not to bother coming if we're late. We're just following your rules." He turned red in the face and stormed off. On the 3rd day, the local news showed up. Someone's parent had called them about the situation. They interviewed a bunch of us in the parking lot after school. Lisa explained the whole policy and how unreasonable it was. That news story went viral in our town. By Thursday morning, the superintendent got involved. They called an emergency meeting with Mr. Garcia, the principal, and student representatives. I got chosen to go along with Lisa and 2 others. We sat in this conference room and explained how the 4-minute passing period wasn't enough time to cross the entire school. We showed them data we'd collected. In the past month, Mr. Garcia had locked out students 73 times total. Most of those kids were less than a minute late. The superintendent looked at Mr. Garcia and asked if this was true. He tried to defend himself, saying students need to learn time management. The superintendent cut him off and said, "This policy ends today. Effective immediately, students can enter class within the first 2 minutes after the bell." Mr. Garcia looked like he wanted to argue, but the superintendent wasn't having it. The next day, Mr. Garcia unlocked his door for the first few kids who came in after the bell. He looked miserable about it, but he followed the new rule. A few weeks later, the school changed the passing period from 4 minutes to 6 minutes for everyone. They also added more water fountains and bathroom passes so kids wouldn't have to rush as much. Mr. Garcia never apologized, but he definitely stopped being so intense about everything. And our class became kind of legends for the rest of the year. People still call it the Great History Class Rebellion.